Waits me from my winter hell. I've got candles and candy. I can be your daddy if you only let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal? Your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true. Just speak low, stand in your row. Try not to show this life's a show. Try not to glow. Way down below, it's a lot of woe. And that's not a place where you would like to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy, which could come in handy if you just help me loosen up my hand grenades fuse. Baby, don't refuse my truth, but it's up to you now to choose. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true, 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 true,
Well, hello. It's a nighttime. I can't even talk. I don't know why I try. It's a nighttime live with your girl. How is everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. It's Friday. Monday is going to be a big day in the Adelson trial. Wendy is expected to take the stand, and you know. Georgia Kappelman is not Wendy's biggest fan. I would say the friendship door is most definitely closed. And I can't wait to see it Monday because, okay, yes, obviously, Wendy is testifying for the state, right? But they don't like, Wendy's testifying under derivative use immunity, which just means that nothing that she testifies to can be used against her. That doesn't mean that she's in the clear. That doesn't mean that she's off the hook. And quite frankly, hold on a second. I feel like my audio is messing up. Hold on. Let me just see something. No, it's fine. Okay. She, it doesn't, she's not off the hook. What it means really is that this is why Wendy hasn't been indicted yet, okay? Because they need her they want her testimony. And because they need, basically what Wendy is going to testify to is the family dynamics, which, who would know better than Wendy if her mom is a helicopter mom, right? And there's the emails that Donna sent to Wendy. So, she's going to testify about that, where Wendy is, or where Donna's telling, Wendy all the things to do with the custody battle, plus, you know, uh, how she felt about Dan Markel. And so, she's her testimony doesn't help her, right? They can't use anything she testifies to against her, but they can still investigate her, and there's plenty of things to investigate there. Okay. Um, Charlie Adelson is in Tallahassee. So is Luis Rivera. We're fixing to watch his testimony. So is Katherine Magbanua. But also, this time around, the state has two jail informants who produced, like, the script that she wanted Donna, that Donna wanted these two inmates to testify to. So it ain't looking good for Donna, but it also isn't looking good for Wendy, because Detective Isom, who testified this morning at I guess this afternoon, he testified after lunch, which that was a kerfuffle in and of itself, because um, Georgia Kappelman was trying to get these emails in, admitted into evidence, and the state objected, which caused Judge Everett to have to send the jury out, which he doesn't like to do. It's a big waste of time. This is what pre-trial hearings are for. They knew about this evidence. They knew this is all part of the discovery. Like, stop playing. And he was frustrated, and and rightly so. And at the end, the way that they resolved it was they weren't going to be admitted at this time. Georgia Kappelman was going to lay some more foundation, and then they were going to be admitted into evidence, but they were still testified to, so it don't look good. So yeah, it's not looking good for Donna, and I don't understand what the defense is. I mean, they started out this morning with their opening statement talking about what a great guy Dan was. I don't think that's in question. And I frankly think that it's in poor taste for the defense attorney to talk about that, given the circumstances. That's not what you're here for. That's not an issue. That's not up for debate. What's up for debate is, what role did your client play in this whole thing? And the fact of the matter is, Donna wrote a buttload of checks to Katherine Magbanua, who did not actually work at the Adelson Institute. I mean, she's got a lot of splaining to do, and Charlie did it. Ain't gonna get it, Shug. It's not. Ain't gonna get it. Donna is, gonna be spending the rest, whatever that means, however long that she has left. I mean, she's not a young person, but she's gonna spend the rest of her life behind bars. That's just facts. And I do think that after Wendy testifies, I think that she's going to be next, because on the stand today, Luis Rivera talked again about Wendy. He implicated Wendy. And so, I think she's going to be next. I think that I think the reason she's the last one is because, like I said, they're using her testimony, number one, and number two, they're going to have to be very, very careful and make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and there's a clear, concise way to follow the investigation into Wendy, because nothing that she testified to can be used against her. So they have to, really be very mindful, and that takes an extra amount of time. So it's only a matter of time. There's no statute of limitations on murder. So, it's, uh, you know, it's only a matter of time. Then we had Donna Adelson sitting, at the defense table while the medical examiner is testifying, crying, shaking, and shuddering. So much so that at the end of the testimony, okay, after the medical examiner was, done. And with not a single question from the defense. Okay. Anyway, he's off the stand. The jury leaves the room, or the jury leaves the courtroom, and Judge Everett has to admonish Donna again. And not well, this is for the first time, but he told her, he's like, look, bro, this is a court of law. We're here to weigh that. We want the jury to base their verdict on evidence, not emotion. So button it up, Adelson, basically. I mean, he said it nicer to her than I would have said it. I would have told her, button it up. Get it together. You're crying now and it's all for show. Also, please, chat, because I know a lot of you have been following this with me, and probably before me, because I've covered it, and I remember seeing you guys in the chats when I would cover her hearings. Please put a 1 in the chat if any of y'all remember Donna Adelson wearing headphones during any of the pretrial hearings when she was in court, because I sure don't. I sure do not. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to say hi to you before we get started. I just want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Gretchen, good to see you. Carol, good to see you. California Amy, good to see you too. Miss F, good to see you. Lil Red, what up? Good to see you. Hey, Kimberly, good to see you. Rachel Lee and Judge Bev, that's my fave. Good to see you. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Hey, ASB412, good to see you. Neat Noodle, what up, boo? Let's see. I don't want to. Coffee and Skeletons, hello, good to see you. Marie, good to see you as well. Aries girl, hey, good to see you, babe. I think I have everybody. Oh, Rachel, let me tell you how Old McDonald's went. So for those of you guys that were not in my stream this morning, I had to stop the stream. That's the only time I'll do it. I had promised I've been watching my chicken nugget pot pie. Her mom went back to work, so I've been keeping her. And I promised her that if she was good all week, that I would buy her McDonald's for lunch. But she calls it Old McDonald's, and it's so cute to me. She's like, oh, Granny, it's Friday. Are we going to get Old McDonald's? And I was like, yes, we are. So I got her Old McDonald's. We got Old McDonald's. Let me tell you something. Did you know at this particular location of Old McDonald's, they do not offer the cheeseburger kids meal. They offer the hamburger kids meal. They offer the chicken nuggets kids meal. They do not offer the cheeseburger, okay? Nor can you make special instructions like no onions, because it's a hamburger, and hamburger comes with those diced onions. Okay. So the Old McDonald's gets here. She loved her toy. She was so jazzed about that. There was no cheese, so I had to put cheese on it and had to scrape off the onions. But let me tell you what these fools did to my little chicken nugget pot pie, okay? 1 pickle. They gave this kid 1 pickle. That is not an evenly distributed amount of pickles. The pickle to meat, bun, and cheese ratio was very skewed. So what did Granny do? Busted out the pickles and put pickles on that burger for that baby, because there was no way. When I saw that 1 pickle, I was shocked, just shocked. So we had a great time. We chatted and had lunch together, and she's very, very interested in hearing about when her mom was a little girl. She loves to hear stories about that. So, yes. So we've been talking about that a lot, and we're talking about Halloween costumes. She's huge into Halloween. It's her favorite. She's very excited for it. And yes, so we had a fantastic lunch. Thank you for asking, Rachel. I love that you guys, let me just say this. I really love that you guys always ask after my little chicky nuggy pot pie Esquire, because, she is the light of my life. She really does make me laugh. Her mom has to work weekends. Her mom and dad work at the same place. So they sometimes have to work weekends. So last weekend I took her swimming. So we were in the pool, and what she really loves to do is swim across the pool. So, I swim in front of her, turned around. So I'm facing her. So I'm swimming backwards, right? And so we swim across the pool, we take a rest, and we go to the other side, right? Back to how we originally started, right? So it's a lap. And she starts coughing, and I said, "Oh, you need some water." So she's like, "Yes, Granny, can I have some water?" So I get her water. She takes a few sips. She's like, "No, my mouth is still very dry. My throat is still very dry." And I was like, "Drink some more water." So she drinks some more water. And I'm telling you guys, this is exactly how she said it. This tone and everything. She said, "Well, the water helped. My throat is no longer dry. Hooray." Just like that. And I like to have died, y'all. She made me laugh so hard when she said, "Hooray." Oh, goodness. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. Yeah, she can be really dry. I mean, she is a little Aquarius. So, you know how that goes. All right. So, let's get started with Luis Rivera. And I have to tell you, this is from the Tallahassee Democrat channel. They're a local news source in Tallahassee, obviously, right? They have a YouTube channel, and there's been like 11 billion comments on their on this testimony. There's only like 4 comments maybe that have to do with the actual testimony. The rest of them are getting on to them for writing Donna Adelson's name as Donna Anderson. People are mad, which I don't blame them. I mean, come on. I know that Adelson's not a common name, and it might get you, but take a moment. All right. Are we ready? All right, here we go.
You can take a seat for right now, Mr. Rivera.
All right, let me. Considering it not able to that to be funded by other problems. And you know what's funny about that is I don't think that the mean mug is like it's your fault because I'm here. Like he's angry at her because hold on. He was already in. Look at that face. He was already in trouble. He was going to prison anyways, right? But I actually think that what this face is disgust and disdain for Donna. Okay, because of the type of person that she is, the type of crime that this is. Oh, she has. Oh, she spends a ton of time with me, Melissa. So much time. So much time. I got her saying all kinds of stuff. Yikes on bikes. That's bad news bears. That sounds like bad business. Uh, you know, all the bendyisms, This is the shooter. He's not the shooter. Luis Rivera is basically, I don't know another way to say it, but like I think that he didn't shoot anybody, but he did supply the firearm. But he mainly was there as like Sigfredo Garcia's like chaperone, and they drove a Prius. And just before I forget, because I need to say this, I hardly see my a million sparkles anymore. It's a hit or miss kind of thing. 41 months of membership. Thank you so much. That is a day oneer right there, ladies and gentlemen, a day oneer, and I appreciate it so much. I really do. You guys are all fantastic. He was the driver and also like the supervisor because Sigfredo Garcia was all hopped up on yayo and drinking and like not paying attention to things, just kind of like the emotional support felon, pretty much. He kept everything in line, but I think what he's really grossed out about is the fact that and we're going to hear in the testimony, and this is what really gets to me and what irritates the shit out of me about this whole situation with Donna and Wendy and Charlie, is that unbeknownst to them, right? Sigfredo was supposed to be there. They didn't know anything about Garcia or Rivera, nothing. What if Rivera was like Garcia and all hopped up on the yayo and the alcohol and, just said, whatever, I don't, we keep losing this guy when we follow him. So it's now or never. And they shot him when the kids were around and one of the kids was hurt or even killed. Do you know what I'm saying? But the Adelson family didn't give a rat's fat kneecap about that. And now Donna wants to sit over there with her headphones on, acting like she's this, demure, timid old lady who couldn't possibly have done this, while at the same time remaining highly persnickety, as if I would never associate with these types of people. He's a criminal. You know what I mean? Well, guess what, Donna? You a criminal too. That's what gets to me. So, oh my goodness. 103 upstairs. That's disrespectfully hot. And Gretchen is right. The fact of the matter is that, but they didn't know this. Rivera absolutely refused to do anything in front of the kids. But the Adelsons didn't know that when they hired Garcia. In fact, they didn't know that Garcia was going to subcontract out to Rivera. And what if Rivera had been a different type of person? The fact that he was willing to do what he did, it doesn't make him a great person, let's be clear. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I think that's why he's disgusted. Part of it, All right, so let's get into it. I just like, Rivera gives some really good faces. I'm not going to lie. I cannot deny that. He makes some really snarky faces, and I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't know why that line is there, and I don't like it. I'm just going to have to let it go. There's mentor lawyer.
Everyone can be seated. Mr. Rivera, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
Take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly.
Yes, sir.
You may examine.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Luis Rivera, Luisrivera.
Mr. Rivera, where are you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Okay, but were you living in Miami back in 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
How long did you live in Miami?
My whole life.
You were born in Puerto Rico, though?
Yeah.
Okay, but moved to Miami at what age?
2 years old.
Okay. Have you been convicted of a felony,
Yes, ma'am.
including the murder that we're here about today?
Yes, ma'am.
It's 5 felonies, sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're currently incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that for this case or this case and another case?
Both. Well,
Both. So it's a federal sentence and this sentence.
Mistake case.
What did you plead to in this case?
This case, guilty
Guilty to what?
to second-degree murder.
If you can speak up, Mr. Rivera, that'd be so.
Guilty to second-degree murder.
Thank you.
One moment, Mr. Rivera.
What was your sentence on the second-degree murder?
19 years.
Okay, and that was concurrent with your federal sentence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what did you have to do in exchange for getting a 19-year sentence?
I had to cooperate.
What does cooperation mean to you?
Well, telling.
Telling on who?
My co-defenders, Garcia, Katie.
All right, did anybody
Everybody.
ever tell you what to say?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody ever told you anything other than to tell the truth?
No, excuse me? Say it again?
Has anybody told you to say anything other than the truth?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than the sentence that you got in exchange for cooperation?
No, ma'am.
Did anybody ever tell you, oh, you have to testify about a specific person to get a deal?
No, ma'am. Not at all.
Have you been offered anything on your federal sentence from doing this cooperation on this case?
No.
I mean, look,
As part of your,
if you think about it, really, Rivera is taking a huge risk. Okay. He's known as a snitch. Let's be real here. All right. And that's not a good thing to be in prison. It is what it is. It would have, he took a risk, saying what he said. Because just because he has the opportunity to get out, doesn't mean he'll make it out. Do you know what I mean?
negotiation or your lawyer's negotiation of this case, did you give up what's called a proffer, a recorded proffer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And even back then when you gave the proffer, did anybody tell you what you needed to say there?
No, ma'am.
Were you hired to participate in the murder of Dan Markel?
Yes, ma'am.
Who hired you to be involved in the murder?
Well, I got it from my friend, Tudo Garcia.
Is that Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know him?
Childhood friends.
So to cooperate and get this deal, you had to turn on one of your best friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Who enlisted Sigfredo Garcia to be a part of this murder?
Katie,
Who's Katie?
his wife.
Is that Katherine Magbanua?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who enlisted her to be involved in this murder?
Not really.
Was it a murder for hire?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that somebody was paying Katie?
Yes, ma'am.
And Katie was the one that brought the money to you all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is
And
going?
what was the
Hold on.
purpose of this murder as you?
Hold on. I ain't lost a step. It's been a minute since I've covered a trial, but I ain't lost a step. Hold on. Let's move this. What's happening in this general vicinity, with this area specifically? What are you doing with your eyes right now, Donna? Where are you cutting your eyes to, ma'am? What is happening? I mean, bruh, I can't. All right, let's keep going.
Understood it.
That they wanted the kids.
Who wanted the kids?
Wendy.
Okay.
There it is.
And did you understand that you were killing the father of the kids so that Wendy could have the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you previously referred to a dentist being involved?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was the dentist?
Charlie.
And how was he related?
Katie's boyfriend, side piece, whatever you want to call him.
All right,
Pancho.
so Katie was the
Just say it. Say it like it is, Rivera. Okay? Katie was hooking up with Charlie, but still hooking up with Sigfredo Garcia, thus making the dentist the Sancho. That's how you use that properly. There you go. Learn something new every day. You're welcome.
wife of Garcia, but also the girlfriend of the dentist?
Yeah.
Did you have any contact with the dentist ever?
No.
Did you have any contact with any member of the Adelson family?
No, ma'am.
Everything went through Katie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did the dentist, if you know, have to do with the lady in Tallahassee who needed her kids?
I don't know nothing about them. I don't know nothing about that family.
Who was in charge of getting the money after the job was done?
Katie.
How much were you to be paid for your part in this crime?
35.
$35,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know the total amount that the job paid?
No, not really.
Did you know how much Garcia got?
40, I believe.
$40,000?
Yeah.
And did you know how much Katie got?
No, I don't know. Can't remember. But I think it was like 40. I think it was, total was be like 100, something like that.
Okay.
Gretchen, yes, Katie has been to trial not once, but twice. She had a retrial, and she was convicted. The first time was a hung jury, and the second one, she was convicted. And now she's singing like a canary.
Okay. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a one-time payment or was it a payment that occurred over time? It's what you got.
No, it's a one-time payment.
Look, okay, this is the second time I've watched this, but when she asks him that, and he's like, no, it was a one-time payment. Thus, okay, getting rid of the whole Charlie Adelson defense. We were extorted, which was lies. Okay. But, you know, no, it was not this. There was no layaway on the crime. It just the way he says it, the way he answers, it's like he's answering a ridiculous question. But this is not. He's testified at everybody's trial, so I don't know why he acts shocked.
What did you know about
Hey,
the man that
pussycat.
came to Tallahassee to kill?
I don't know nothing about him.
How did you know who to kill?
Casatuto, Garcia,
How did he know?
Katie.
Did he have some information about the man you were here to kill?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell him what that was.
I was a piece of paper with his picture on of his face and the address.
Picture of Dan Markel's face?
Yes, ma'am.
And the address of what? Where he lived?
Of his house, yes.
Did you and Rivera refer to each other? I'm sorry, you and Garcia refer to each other as brothers?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving to evidence states 45, Your Honor.
Hey, Jack.
No, Your Honor.
States 45 is admitted.
Is that you and Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Please silence your phones.
Have you ever been to Tallahassee before you came for this case, related to this case?
Never in my life.
How many times did you come to Tallahassee related to this case?
This case twice.
All right, so were you with Sigfredo Garcia both times?
Yeah,
Was that one time in June and one time in July?
I believe so.
Okay, and July was the time, second time was when the murder happened, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it just the two of you on both of these trips?
Yes, ma'am.
The objection states 44.
No objection.
Introduce states 44, Your Honor.
States 44 is admitted.
Publishing states 44. Who's this right here?
Garcia,
And this?
Katie,
Who's that?
my baby mama.
Your child's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
What's her name?
Jessica.
Okay, and that's you there?
Yes.
Was this picture taken before or after the murder?
I can't remember.
At the time of the murder, was Katie with the dentist? Was Katie with Garcia? Was she with both?
Both. Katie is scandalous, and let me say
Were
this.
you at the time of this murder living with Jessica Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Miss Kappelman, I don't want to interrupt. There is no love lost between Rivera and Katie. He does not like her at all. The friendship door is closed. He ain't got nothing for Katie. Nothing.
There's an address on the
Hey,
rental
squirrel,
car
good to see you,
contract,
babe.
1515 Northeast 135th Street, number 14. Do you recognize that address?
That's my apartment. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the first trip that occurred in June. How did you get here for that trip?
Well, we rented a car.
Who rented the car for the June trip?
The first one.
Yeah, if you remember.
I can't really remember. Been so
Okay.
long.
But one of you, either you or Sigfredo?
Yeah, I think it was Sigfredo. I rented the Prius, so I never rented on the car.
Okay. So Garcia rented the car for the June trip, but it was a rental car that y'all brought up here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you take the same route on both trips to get to Tallahassee?
Shit, I don't remember.
Okay, and did he have the paper with the picture of Dan Markel on both trips?
Yes.
And what did you do on the first trip?
We drove by here and We just follow him around to see where he lived and shit. But
Okay, were you planning to kill him on the first trip?
I don't remember.
Okay, did you have a gun on the first trip?
Yeah.
Did you have a gun that you procured specifically to kill Dan Markel with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I do want to talk about this. I do think that he is part of the Latin Kings, okay? But I'll tell you why I don't think that he's the head of the Latin Kings, because he was also working. Now, I don't know too many. It would seem to me, and I don't have much experience of this, okay, but it would seem to me that being the head of an organization like that would be pretty much a full-time job and wouldn't leave you time to work a straight 9-to-5 job, okay? So I feel like he's up there, but I don't think he's running things. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
And was that a gun that you bought off the street?
Yes, ma'am.
You bought it.
I bought it.
Okay. And were there any other guns in the vehicle for that first trip, if you know?
I think we had 2.
All right. And what was the other gun?
It's a 38.
Whose gun was that?
Garcia.
On that first trip in June of 2014, did you and Garcia go to Markel's residence?
Yeah.
And did you lay eyes on him that first trip?
I believe I passed by his house and scoped him out.
You said you followed him. Do you remember where you followed him on the first trip?
Yeah, I followed him to a daycare.
Okay. How long were you here that first trip?
Maybe I don't remember.
A couple days sound right?
Just a couple of days.
Why wasn't Dan Markel killed on that first trip, if you know?
If I remember, I wasn't gonna do nothing in front of no kids. But
He had the kids with him,
yeah, yes, he did.
but for whatever reason, it didn't happen on that trip.
We lost him. I believe we lost him.
Okay.
Well, Shauna, thank you for having being a member for 18 months over here at the ward. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting me. I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know if I would call Katie a homie hopper, because a homie hopper means exactly what it sounds like. They got to be friends, right? I think Katie was more like thinking, she'd gone from the bad boy, which bad boys are a lot of fun, but then when you have kids and everything and they're out running amok and getting into trouble and you're getting calls from the jail and all the things, it can be a little tiresome. So I think she, met Charlie Adelson, and, she thought she was going to be like the Jeffersons, she thought she was moving on up, and she thought she was going to, have it made. And basically, Charlie was like, nah, I'm not really ready to commit. This is more of a situationship for me. And we can Netflix and chill, and you can be the go-between with your shady with your connections to, shady people. But that's about it. That's it. That's all. That's all he wanted.
And when you didn't get it done on that trip, was anyone angry at you?
At me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Did you hear at some point that y'all were going to have to come back if you wanted to get the money and finish the job?
Yeah.
All right. So you did come back in July. Is that right?
We came back.
And that's when you came in the Prius.
Yes, ma'am.
And you rented the Prius, right?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. And that phone number that you wrote on the Prius rental agreement and wrote brother, that was Garcia's phone number?
Yeah, I think.
You took phones with you to Tallahassee for both trips, right?
Yeah.
Did you turn your phone off for the actual murder?
Yeah, I did.
What about Garcia? Do you know if he turned his phone off?
When the murder happened?
Yes, sir.
Shit. Man, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you stay in Tallahassee for a couple nights when you came here the second time?
Yeah, we stayed here for a night or two, I think.
Okay. Did y'all rent a hotel room?
Yes.
Do you know how many guns were with you on that second trip?
Nah, just one.
You only remember one gun on that trip?
Yeah, I remember
And
one.
that's the murder weapon?
Yes, ma'am.
The one you bought on the street?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of gun was that?
A 38.
Becky, I don't think that she's related to Donna, and the reason I say that is because of where she's sitting in the courtroom. There is an area that's marked for the defense, and Harvey's sitting there, and he's sitting alone in that first row. And the lady in the white sweater, they do resemble each other, but the lady in the white sweater is sitting in the same vicinity as Dan Markel's family. So I don't think that she's, but I could be wrong.
That's a revolver?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember an incident where there was a shot fired into the floorboard of the Prius?
Yes.
Could you tell the jurors about that?
Well, we was driving and Garcia put the gun out and shot the gas line in the car.
Through the floorboard of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Passenger side or driver's side?
Passenger side.
Okay, and that was the murder weapon that fired that shot?
Shit. Man, I don't remember.
Okay, but he was messing around with some gun and fired it into the car.
Yeah.
And were y'all driving in the car when that happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And did it disable the car?
The car started stopping. Little by little, it just started slowing down.
Okay, and that's the Prius, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How did y'all get the car going again?
We seen somebody that he knew and stopped him and took him to the auto place to get a piece of hose to put it back together.
And the guy that you saw that he knew, are you talking about a local drug dealer here that y'all had met on the first trip?
Yes, ma'am.
And that person assisted you in getting some way to fix the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was good with cars, you or Garcia or both?
Garcia.
All right, so he was able to make a repair to the gas line?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you follow Dan Markel again during this second trip?
Yeah.
Did you follow him to the daycare?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you actually see him drop his children off at school that morning?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you follow him to the gym where he went inside and worked out?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a reason the murder had to be done on the day that it was done?
I believe so. I believe he was about to leave.
Who was about to leave?
Markel.
About to
Markel.
leave town?
Yeah.
How did you get that information?
I got it from Tudo,
Where did he get the information?
from Katie.
See, and this is really important, okay, in connecting all of the dots, because it's kind of like this is information that isn't widely known, okay? It would be one thing for them to just, do a Google search, right, to believe Charlie's theory. Charlie, said that Katie Magbanua's baby daddy, Garcia, was very jealous about the whatever was going on between those two and whatnot. And that, this all happened, it started out as spite and then it led to extortion. Okay. But here's the thing. You can Google and find somebody's address, right? But that's not going to give you their itinerary. Okay. So the fact that he knew that Dan Markel, which he was going to go out of town, it had to be done that day because he was going to be going out of town the next day, is kind of like with Melanie Pulowski, Melanie Boudreau Pulowski, without her texting Brandon Boudreau and asking him for his new address, Alex and Lori would never have known where Brandon Boudreau was living. And so that's why, much like Wendy, Melanie P, I hope you next. That's all.
How did she know?
Wendy?
You think Wendy talked to Katie and told her Dan Markel's travel plans?
Yeah.
See, I think, and this is the other part, okay? I do think that he's telling the truth here, okay? I do think his time is his time, right? He's going to do his time. That's it. He's done his deal. It's over. Really, he doesn't have, all he has to do is sit and testify and tell the truth and tell the same, a consistent story. So why bring Wendy up? She's not charged. She's not charged. So why does he continuously mention her name? And he's mentioned her name from the very beginning. He has implicated that Wendy is the person that was talking to Katherine Magbanua. And I do think that it is possible that both things can be true. I think that when it came to the money and all of the things, yes, I do think that Charlie gave the money, the stapled money. Where's my Milton thing? I'll show you that later. But anyway, I do think that Charlie handled Katherine the majority of the time, but it's not like Wendy and Katherine Magbanua did not know each other or even never hung out together. There's a photograph of them together on the beach. They knew each other. Don't play with these people, Wendy. Oh, I cannot wait for Monday and her testimony.
Were you present for that
No.
phone call? Okay. But somehow you learned that Dan Markel was leaving town the day after he was killed.
Yes, ma'am.
So it had to be done that day or he'd be gone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that came through Garcia to you from Katie.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say Wendy, did you know who Wendy was at the time that all this happened?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but you did know there was a lady that you were helping get some kids back in Tallahassee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you the driver of the green Prius?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had a chance to see the gym video and the bus video?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you driving the Prius in those videos?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got to the driveway of Dan Markel?
Well, I pulled up right behind him, and Garcia jumped out and shot him.
How many times did Garcia shoot Mr. Markel?
Twice.
Did he shoot him? Where was the victim when he was shot?
He was inside his parking garage, and his sitting down the driver's side on the phone.
And did Garcia shoot him through the window, if you know?
Through the window.
How long would you say you were in the driveway?
Just seconds.
How was it decided which one of you would be the shooter?
Because I wasn't gonna do it.
You didn't want to be the shooter?
No.
On the bus video, we see somebody in a white shirt kind of jumping around in the passenger seat. Is that Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what was happening when he was doing all that jumping around?
I think he was trying to hide a gun. If I'm not mistaken, he was trying to hide it.
What did happen to the gun?
It got thrown away
Thrown away where?
in the ocean somewhere.
All right, who threw it in the ocean somewhere?
He did.
All right, was that on the way back to Miami?
Yes, ma'am.
At some overpass somewhere between here and Miami?
Absolutely.
Where did you go after the murder? Did you go home?
We had to stop somewhere to eat. Then we went home.
Did you stop at an ATM?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna show you states exhibits 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43. So 38 through 43.
Yes, ma'am.
Are these images fair and accurate photos of you pulling through an ATM?
Yes, ma'am.
And the date, July 18th, 2014.
Yes, ma'am.
Pembroke Pines, is that on the way home from Tallahassee?
Yeah.
That's you at the ATM. Are you the driver?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's that in the passenger seat?
Garcia.
Move to publish introduce states 38 through 43.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 38 through 43 are admitted.
May I publish?
You may.
Is that the vehicle you were driving the day the murder was done, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Publishing 39. Is that you at the ATM machine?
Yes, ma'am.
States Exhibit 40. Is this Mr. Garcia? Is he your passenger?
Yes, ma'am.
States Exhibit 41. He's the passenger that was jumping around when we saw the car in Tallahassee on the bus video?
Absolutely.
Do you remember when you turned your phone back on after the murder?
Not really.
Do you remember who was the first phone call that either of you made after the murder?
Garcia.
Who did Garcia call?
Katie.
And were you able to hear Katie on the other end of the line when he was talking to her?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you interested in that phone call?
Yes, ma'am.
Because she was going to be the one to get you the money, right?
Absolutely.
And was that phone call in reference to letting her know it's done and she's going to get the money?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you get the money?
Saturday morning.
Was that the next day?
The next day.
Do you remember that on that Saturday morning you got a call from Katherine Magbanua?
Yes.
She was looking for you to give you the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that unusual for her to call you?
Not really. She never calls my phone.
She never calls your phone, but she couldn't get a hold of Garcia,
She
right?
couldn't get a hold of him, so she got in contact with me.
Okay. And at that time, was one moment, please, Your Honor. Your boyfriend, sometimes he has other girlfriends, but they always with Kim, right? And that's where that unusual for her to call you?
Not really. She never calls my phone.
She never calls your phone, but she couldn't get a hold of Garcia,
She
right?
couldn't get a hold of him, so she got in contact with me.
Okay. And at that time, wasn't Garcia living with another woman?
Yes.
And that was the woman that goes by the nickname Shrimp?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's where you ended up rousting him out of, right?
Absolutely.
To go get your money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he wasn't living with Katie as a family at that time.
Nope.
Okay. So when you say that Katie was with both of them, do you mean just that Katie was always kind of off and on with Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
So she has other boyfriends, sometimes he has other girlfriends, but they always find each other again?
Absolutely.
One moment, please, Your Honor. All right, tell us what happened when you got your money. How'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
I was in the barber shop, and they pulled up to my house, Katie and Garcia, and they called my phone. Hey, I think my baby mama called me. I think my baby mama called me. Well, they came to my house.
Okay,
I was-
Katie and Garcia brought the money.
Yeah, I was in a barber shop, and
Okay.
Katie and Garcia, they went to my house and brought the money.
All right, and do you know where Katie got the money from? Were you there when Katie got the money?
No,
But you knew that she was supposed to go get it.
absolutely.
And she did.
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you get?
35.
Was there anything unusual about how your payment was packaged?
Yeah, it was weird. It was all stapled. Never
Was it
seen that
cash
before.
money?
Cash. All
Okay,
hundreds.
stapled how? All hundreds.
All hundreds, $1,000 stapled.
Stapled into bundles of $1,000 each.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever seen stapled money before?
No.
Did you and Garcia buy anything with your cut of the money?
I just bought a motorcycle.
Any objection 46 and 47?
No objection.
Moving to evidence 46 and 47, Your Honor.
No objection to the defense.
No objection.
They are admitted.
Publishing State's Exhibit 46. This yellow motorcycle, whose is that?
Garcia.
Is that something he bought with the money that was the proceeds of this murder?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything unusual about how your payment was packaged?
Yeah, it was weird. It was all stapled. Never
Was it
seen that
cash
before.
money?
Cash. All
Okay,
hundreds.
stapled how? All hundreds.
All hundreds, $1,000 stapled.
Stapled into bundles of $1,000 each.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever seen stapled money before?
No.
Did you and Garcia buy anything with your cut of the money?
I just bought a motorcycle.
Any objection 46 and 47?
No objection.
Moving to evidence 46 and 47, Your Honor.
No objection to the defense.
No objection.
They are admitted.
Publishing State's Exhibit 46. This yellow motorcycle, whose is that?
Garcia.
Is that something he bought with the money that was the proceeds of this murder?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what about this vehicle back here?
Yeah, he bought that one too.
He also bought that with his cut of the money?
Yeah.
And State's Exhibit 47, what about this motorcycle right here?
That's mine.
Is that what you bought, or part of what you bought with your money?
Yes, ma'am.
How long after the murder did you guys make those purchases? Days, weeks, months?
Probably like a month.
Did you make any changes to your cell phone after the murder? Did you dump your cell phone?
Nah, I don't remember.
Did you meet with Investigator Newland from my office to see if you could recognize some voices on some recorded telephone calls?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Newland play some calls for you and have you initial on a sheet if you could identify the voice
Absolutely.
on the sheet on that call?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. State's Exhibit 136. Is this it? I'm going to show you what I have marked as State's Exhibit 136. Yes. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
And are these your initials here?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that mean you're verifying that the highlighted name, you know that person and that is their voice
Absolutely.
on the particular call that references?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence 136.
Any objection?
No objection.
Six, 136, Linda.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Take your time.
Did you know where the dentist lived?
Nope.
Did you know that the dentist had a safe full of money?
Nope.
Did you know that the dentist was going to be paying for at least part of this murder?
No.
And if you had known that the dentist had a safe full of money, would you have driven all the way to Tallahassee to do the murder to then get the money?
No.
What would have been a better idea?
Speculation.
Overruled, he has knowledge of his own actions and what he was thinking at the time.
Well,
Answer the question.
What would you have preferred to do to get the money?
I would have went and robbed them myself.
Did you suggest to Garcia on the way up to Tallahassee that y'all could just go to whoever had the money and rob them instead of doing this murder?
I had mentioned something like that, yes.
But that Garcia said that wouldn't work, right?
No.
Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
Afternoon, Mr. Garcia.
Excuse me?
I said good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to make sure I understood your testimony. It was your testimony that the first trip you came up on, you scoped out Mr. Markel's house, correct?
Yes, ma'am?
And that he was going to be taking his kids to school, so when he came out with the kids, you're trying to follow him to the school, correct?
Yes, ma'am?
And you got lost. He lost you.
Yes, ma'am?
Okay. And the second time that you came up, you knew he was going to be taking the children to school, and so you followed him to the school, correct?
The daycare, yes.
Yes. And then you knew he was going to be going to the gym, right?
I didn't know he was going to the gym. I just followed him.
You followed him to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you followed him to his house,
Yes, ma'am?
and that's where he was killed.
Yes, ma'am?
And the woman who wanted him to be killed, past you and Sigfredo and Katie, the woman who wanted him to be killed was Wendy Adelson, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It was she wanting her children, correct?
Absolutely.
Can you guys even hear me? There we go. Now I'm on screen. There. Okay. Let me just say this. Okay. You know what I like about our chat? This is a serious case going on here. And we're talking about Dawn Power Wash, which these are important things. I actually like this about our chat. But here comes Neat Noodle, who's very Little House on the Prairie, saying, I make my own refill solution now and just add essential oils I like. Well, how very Little House on the Prairie of you, Neat. I don't have time for all of that. But I do enjoy Dawn Power Wash a lot.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to show you what
Mr. Rivera.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I apologize.
Look at him. Don't
Mr.
touch me.
Rivera, I'm going to show you what's been marked.
Hold on. We're going to rewind that because I need to see that again. He just leans back. Here she comes. Oh, I like her nail polish. All right, here we go.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to show you what
Mr. Rivera.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I apologize. Mr. Rivera, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 50. Could you take a look at that and tell me if you recognize that?
What kind of bad juju do you have to have as a human being when this gentleman recoils from you? Oof. That really says something. That really says something. Huh. Hold on. Let me move this over here. All right. Now let's keep going. Sorry about that, you guys.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's like a profile of everybody's face.
Okay. And did you make some marks on this for me and then sign it on March the 11th of 2025?
Yes, I did.
You just hold on to that for a second.
She did. She's called him that twice, and he got a little upset about that. I don't blame him.
Mr. Vera, when we met with you that day taking your deposition and I presented that to you, you gave us information about what had happened, pretty similar to what you talked about here today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay? Look, ma'am, of all the names, and I am a Latina myself, so I can speak to this, of all the names that you can get in the Hispanic community, okay, Rivera and Garcia are probably two of the easiest to pronounce. I'm going to need you to get it together, ma'am. I don't know what happened to you over lunch. I don't know if you need a 5-hour energy, a Red Bull, coffee. I don't know what's happening over here, but come on.
And when we were done talking about those things and some information about Sigfredo and Katie, I presented you with what's in front of you as Defendant's Exhibit 50, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I asked if you would put the number 1 and circle it next to the person you know as Katie, who you said was in charge of this whole deal, correct?
Yep.
And did you do that?
Yep.
All right. And then I said, would you put a number 2 next to the person you say did this killing?
Yes.
And you did that, correct?
Yes, I did.
And that was Sigfredo Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was Katie Magbanua, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, would you put a number 3 next to yourself on the paper? And did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're the one who got the gun that was used to kill Dan Markel, and you drove the car that day. You didn't shoot him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
And
also,
then I said,
I'm going to stop you again, counselor, because I think this is rude as well. You notice that she continues to refer to Dan Markel as Danny Markel. Okay, thing is, like, his government name is Daniel Markel, okay? He went by Dan. I would imagine that Danny is a nickname, a term of a name that is used by people he's close with, people who he knew. Okay, not the woman who is defending the mother-in-law who orchestrated this whole thing, his murder, for the love of Pete. It's so, her approach is just stank, and I don't like it at all. And I don't think Dan Markel's mom likes it either, and I don't blame her. I'd be mad too.
if you would, please put the number 4 next to the man who was killed, and you did that with Danny Markel, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, if you would, put the number 5 next to the lady that wanted the man killed. And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And was that with Wendy Adelson?
Yes, I did.
And then I ask you if the 2 people on the top of the page who have their pictures there and the names Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson, you see those on the top?
Yes, ma'am.
I ask you, as far as you know, were they involved in any of this? And you said no, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I ask you to put X's next to the people who on that page were not involved in this.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did that.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Just one moment, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't know what you're trying to prove with this. It's been established that at the end of the day, he wasn't hired by these people. He was hired by Sigfredo Garcia.
Redirect examination.
And she forgot her little paper.
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Is Mr. Rivera released, or will he be recalled?
He's to remain under the rule, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Rivera, please do not discuss your testimony with anyone else. The bailiff will take you at this time.
Stay on here. I just wanted to.
Oh dear, what is this? There we go. All right. So there you have it. That's it. That's all. Now, I preferred the testimony the last time that Rivera testified. Roshbaum, Charlie Adelson's attorney, really went at Rivera, and not, I don't really went at is probably not that great of a way to say it. He tried. He did. He tried to get him twisted up, and Rivera said, "You're not going to trick me." You know, it was ineffective. It wasn't good. It didn't win, in my opinion anyway, any points for the defense. It didn't make me feel like I didn't change my mind and say, you know what? That theory of extortion. Yeah. I mean, okay, this is why I like Neat Noodle. Neat Noodle is she's right, and she's wrong. I mean, she's right and I'm wrong, and it's hard for me to say this. I like the way she thinks about things. But Neat Noodle says, Attorney Jackie did a good job with this, though. She got in that Donna wasn't involved, quote, in theory, of course she was. And you're not wrong. You're right. I am wrong. I'm not wrong, but I'm harsh in my assessment. There's something about I guess what it is for me is I've kept up with all of the pretrial motions for Donna, everything. Even if I haven't covered it on my channel, I've watched everything. I've been obsessed with this case since it happened. Okay. And for all the kerfuffle that happened in the pretrial, I expected more from the defense. The way that they worked hard to get everything, they didn't want anything to come in, the way they advocated for their client, etc. And even during voir dire, but now I feel like we're at the point where this is where it matters the most. And it's like, all go, no show. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm irritated because I feel like I can't, and I understand that it's only day one. Okay. But of all the witnesses in this moment, Rivera is probably the, that we've seen up until this point is probably the most important for day one. Okay. He is the witness that is connecting all of the dots. Okay. And I just feel like, yeah, you got it in that, that he had no idea about Donna, but that's not a surprise. That's not a bombshell at all. We already knew that. The jury already knew that from opening statements, from the prosecution, not from the defense. So, and also, um, this is really early in the trial, okay? And I have to go back. I haven't had an opportunity yet to like hear from people that were in the courtroom that observed the jurors. But I would imagine they were all given the opportunity to take notes. And so some of them must, right? But this is day one, okay? And I just feel like we got a lot of trial to go. The prosecution has a lot of witnesses. They have a lot of evidence that they intend to put on in this trial. And Rivera being at the beginning of the trial, I think that the defense, if they're really trying to separate Donna from this whole thing, I don't know, might have done more, might have, at least Rashbaum, like, kind of pointed out, like, gaps in memory or times when, like, because, Rivera gave that proffer, which we watched last week or earlier this week, but then he gave depositions prior to Charlie's trial. And he testified in Katherine Magbanua's trial and Sigfredo Garcia's trial. All of that, anything that you've ever put on record, that's subject, you can get that in. You can use for impeachment purposes. Well, you said, didn't you testify in this proceeding, blah, 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 right? And there were some discrepancies. So, it just feels like maybe that would have been something to do, but they didn't. And exactly, and this is what is so it's Rivera did come across as factual and credible. By and large, the important points of his testimony today haven't changed from what he said in 2014. I mean, granted, he couldn't remember where they put where they exactly dumped the firearm either. He doesn't. He had no real vested interest in this. He took a ride for $35,000. He didn't really do anything other than provide the firearm. So, I don't know. It just, and by the way, to Charlie Adelson's point, if he were being extorted, right? Why would there be a need to wash your fingerprints off of the money? Why do you need to clean the money? You're the victim in that circumstance, right? Idiot. Now, Monday is going to be quite interesting, okay? And here's why. I don't think that Wendy's testimony is going to be too very different from the other times that she's testified, okay? I don't think it's going to be during the direct examination, although I do like the way that Georgia Kappelman takes digs at Wendy during her testimony, like their little, like this, the shade is real, and I enjoy that. You guys know I love snark. So it's interesting to me, that'll be good. But what's going to be for me, I think, what's going to be interesting to me is the cross-examination, because the defense subpoenaed Wendy Adelson. They wanted her also for their own witness, which would mean that, they wanted to put her on the stand themselves also. And Wendy filed a motion to quash that. And the judge ended up ruling in Wendy's favor, and it was quashed. And he did give the defense a little wiggle room during cross-examination. But basically, Wendy said, if you put me up on the stand, and I have to testify with no derivative use immunity in place, I'm going to plead the fifth. Which I think that was the point. I don't think the defense actually expected Wendy to do anything other than plead the fifth. But pleading the fifth in front of a jury never looks good. Never. So he did. And this is interesting, California Amy. And I was curious if this was going to come up in this trial. California Amy says, Luis also said he saw Wendy and the boys walking down the street on the first trip. Yes. Yes. And he also said on the second trip, when Garcia called Katherine Magbanua after the murder, she already knew about it. And he said he thought that, Wendy must have told her. So, and that hasn't been brought up. And I think that's interesting. But I like I said, I don't think that the defense ever actually intended really to get an answer out of Wendy. I don't think that was the purpose of them calling her. I think the purpose of them calling her was for her to take the fifth. They wanted her to take the fifth in front of the jury. Now, I'll say this as well. She is real snotty, Rachel Lee. She does. She gets very persnickety on the stand. But she's not a likable gal. I'm sorry. Like, even if the circumstances were different, just if I knew nothing about this case and I just listened to her testify, it's just her whole attitude is not good. All right, Squirrel. You're welcome. Have a good night, babe. She's just really like, she's persnickety. She's snotty. She's, like rude, I mean, okay, if you're truly like bereft, okay, and you need to go through an entire box of Kleenex, that's understandable, okay? When you're truly bereft, you're not really paying attention to the amount of Kleenex that you're going through. But Wendy wasn't. Like, there was no actual need for those Kleenex. They were mostly just wadded up, she just had this air about her like somebody will take care of it. Spoiled is how she comes across. Entitled. It's not good. But for her to get up in front of that jury, being called by the defense and plead the fifth, leaves an impression in the jurors' minds. And it's, and I also think that I don't think that any of what's happening today or what's going to happen on Monday or what's happened in any of the pre-trials, I don't think that Wendy is aghast that she was called to the stand. I don't think that Wendy is upset at Donna's lawyers having Luis Rivera put a number by her name and X out her parents. I don't think this comes as a surprise to Wendy or to Charlie. I actually think this is going to be like a situation sort of like with Lori and Chad. They know what the score is. They know what's up. That their attorneys are going to do whatever they need to do, say whatever they need to say, point the finger wherever they need to point the finger to get their client off. That's their job. That's what they're going to do. And I just, I the only time I get annoyed, Neat, is like when Jackie had called Rivera the wrong name. I know that I misspeak and I've called people the wrong name before, but I'm also not an attorney and I'm not fighting for a client either, and I just feel like, I don't know, I guess I'm just annoyed because I thought there would be more. And it's like all go, no show is, I guess, what it is for me. I think it's just annoying. She didn't plead the fifth at Charlie's trial. Whoops, I didn't mean to unhighlight that. Hey, Sweet Like Denim, good to see you. Welcome back in. She couldn't plead the fifth. She was subpoenaed by the state in that case, and only the state. She had derivative use immunity, and so she couldn't. Okay, but with with this trial, Donna's team, the defense, actually wanted to subpoena her as their own witness to be called for the defense. And under those circumstances, what it would have done is, had she answered any of their questions, right, she would no longer have derivative use immunity or any type of immunity. So anything that she said on the stand could and would be used against her later on. And that's why she doesn't want to do it. That's what she was objecting to. That was her beef. She did not want to get up and testify when she didn't have some type of immunity. So with the state, she agreed to testify because she had derivative use immunity. So any question that they ask her on the stand, any answer that she gives to that question, as long as she's not lying, okay, they can't use against her. So that's why she didn't, that's why she's like, sure, I'll haul my cookies up there in the same dress 2 days in a row. Don't play with us, Wendy. We know, we saw. And I would like to remind everybody that and it will happen, it's just going to be a matter of time, I think. But Wendy is not going to have access to all the good hair care products. I mean, look, she still has flyaways and frizz anyways, even with access. Florida weather is something else, and the humidity is a no joke, okay? But I will tell you guys, after Wendy gets arrested and she's not going to get bail or anything like that, she's going to have to sit in the county jail just like her brother, just like her mother, just like everybody else, and she loses her access to all them good hair products. I'm telling you, by the time that they go to pretrial, I'm not talking first appearance or anything, but by the time we get to the pretrial, Wendy is going to be looking like a whole alpaca. I'm telling y'all. Jen, I think Allie covered this. She and I were on her channel when we talked about this. There was an article that came out in 2023 that interviewed defense attorneys, and we strongly suspect one of the attorneys that gave commentary for that article was Letitia's trial attorney. And he said he didn't like his client. The thing about defense attorneys is that they take an oath the same way, that prosecuting attorneys do. And our justice system is based on, it's supposed to be, fairness and equality. So if you have somebody who's trained in the law representing the state, then a criminal deserves the same, under our Constitution, is entitled to the same representation. And so I think it's got to be incredibly tough, especially certain types of criminals. And, you're right, like Letitia Stearns, Koberger. Yeah. That would be very difficult. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about it, like, what if things had been different in my life and I did end up going to law school, because I always thought I would want to be there were three things I wanted to be. I either wanted to be, when I was like 16, 17, what I really wanted to do was, I didn't want to write music. Like, I didn't want to score a movie, but when they pick the songs for certain scenes, I wanted to do that, because I do think that the right song changes everything. So I wanted to do that. I did want to be an attorney, and I did want to be a nurse. So if I'd had, gone the attorney route, I don't know what kind of attorney I would have been. I don't know. And yes, she is in Texas, which I can't remember where exactly in Texas she is because I don't actually like pay that much of attention to her. I don't, she annoys me a lot. Wendy, she's not likable. But Texas is humid too, not like Florida though. And I can tell you that unequivocally because I've lived in both places. So, yeah. Yeah, no colored contacts in prison or jail either. And that's, exactly. Thank you, Becky. This is a much better way of putting it more succinctly. A defense attorney's main role is to ensure their clients' rights are upheld, plus plant seeds of doubt, not to quote unquote get them off. That's a bonus. Right. The scariest thing for a defense attorney, and so many have interviewed and said this exact same thing. The most intimidating and the scariest thing to an attorney, to a defense attorney, is a client who is actually innocent. That's the hardest. Those are the hardest to represent because you know that there's a chance that you will not be able to get them acquitted. So it is what it is. But that's really all I had for you guys. I do still have, let me just tell you, hold on, let me look really quick. I got to look at Allie's message to me because there's still like, I think a couple of calls left that I'm supposed to do, I think. Hold on. I'll tell you guys. Yeah, which I need. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, there's still like 3 more calls from me that I need to do. Yeah, I'll get those out. I know Allie and I wanted to do commentary Saturday evening, so I'll get those out before that. Anyway, hopefully I have the chicken nugget tomorrow, so I'll have to just get up really, really early and do that. And maybe you guys, I'll have them do it like by 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. It doesn't take long. And Jen says, I'm convinced that Ann Taylor knew that Kohberger was guilty. She probably did. But that's what she was there for, was to make sure that his rights were protected. And she did that. And at the end of the day, what her ultimate goal was, and you could see it by her emotions towards the end, was really to get the death penalty off the table. And what ended up happening, the death penalty was off the table. He got life without the possibility of parole. So, there you have it. But anyway, that's what's going on. And I still have to put the finishing touches on the second West Memphis 3 episode, plus the Patreon. So I like to do those together. I like to give you guys that are my Patreon members the episode, and then I like to release them at the exact same time. So thank you guys for being patiently. She did do her job. Absolutely. Coffee and skeletons. And the thing is, I had more patience with Ann Taylor for whatever reason, because I didn't take it. I guess I didn't take it personally. The Idaho 4 case hit me differently than the murder of Dan Markel. And I've changed over the years, because obviously when this first happened in 2014, I wasn't a granny then. Which I can't even believe I'm saying that. First of all, the fact that I allow myself to be called granny, of all the things in the world to be called granny. She calls me granny. But my view of the case and my irritation and disdain for Donna has only grown since I became a grandmother, because I look at my little grandbabies and I think I I can't imagine putting them in a situation where they would ever be exposed to people who were capable of killing intentionally. I can't do anything about the world at large, okay? But to intentionally put people who are capable of taking another human being's life for no other reason than some cash, and not even that much cash. This isn't life-changing cash. This isn't gonna, they're not gonna be set for life. They still gotta work, still gotta earn income, and they were willing to do it. It is just so, I can't, I just, it's unfathomable to me. It's so offensive and foul. It just really, like, it pisses me off that she would do that as a grandmother. I just, as a human being, like, okay, I think we all get it. Like, it's a what happened, the circumstances, all of this was foul and evil. But there's another level of evil that goes into it when you put children, and then on top of it your own grandchildren, your own children, Wendy, in harm's way. And then to add insult to injury, and this is what irritates the shit out of me too. Wendy's like, I had no idea anybody was doing any of this, blah 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 blah. Okay, so then why don't you let your children see their father's family? Like, they're missing out on the other half of their family. They no longer have their father, and so who's teaching them about their father? You are, which that's biased, and you only know him up to a point. What did his family do? It's just, she's foul, man. I can't with her. All right. I'm going to let you guys go because I think I've babbled on long enough, and now I've irritated myself. I'm annoyed with me. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to me and Allie's commentary tomorrow. It's been a minute, and I definitely, we need a little comedy. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then don't forget, you guys, when you see Allie tomorrow, her birthday is Sunday. Let's all make sure we wish her a very, very happy birthday tomorrow night. Okay, you guys? All right. You guys have a great rest of your night. And I will see you tomorrow. And be on the lookout because Letitia, I'm going to get those calls out in the morning. Don't worry. I might not be doing a big old, huge, I'll do a premiere. I don't know if I can be in there because I got the Chicky Nugget. She doesn't need to be exposed to Tisha, but, I'll be around. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to y'all later.